Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And I am out in the garden this morning getting ready to do some harvesting. I harvested quite a bit yesterday. I harvested a lot of cucumbers yesterday. I am in the midst of making a lot of pickles for Mr. H. But now that I think I have all of his pickles done, I am so ready to start on my sweet pickles. And that is what I'm excited about. But I just thought I'd bring you along with me while I do a little bit of harvesting. So, let's get to it. The grass is really tall. We've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain, but the grass is really tall. But the garden, as you can see behind me, some things are looking good, some things are not. Cucumbers are beginning to die off, and I don't care. I don't care. We've had so many cucumbers, you all. Loofah Lane is coming along. Okra is finally coming along. I've harvested a ton of jalapeno peppers, right? And the jalapeno peppers that I harvested, I'm pickling some for Mr. H. But then there are those mammoth jalapenos that get so big. I am going to make some stuffed jalapeno peppers, a lot of them. Some I will freeze, some I will put away. But jalapeno bombers are so good. And we will be using Lead Farmer 73's recipe for these jalapeno bombers. So if you've never seen it, I'll try to post a link to his video to show you how he makes his bombers in the description box below. Y'all, we've tried them before, and yes, they are that good. Okay, so y'all, let's go ahead and get to it because it's about to rain as this tropical storm heads our way. It's beginning to rain, so I want to get some things done so that I can have these crops out of here. And while the rain, I can be getting some canning done. All right, so y'all stay tuned. Now you all, the squash bugs have really gotten to a lot of my spaghetti squash, but that's okay. I've harvested quite a few, and I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of the largest spaghetti squash I've ever grown. I'm going to be harvesting some of that today. Look at that. That's beautiful. But that's not the largest. Now, this one is ready. All right, y'all. Look at this one. It's not ready yet. But look at the size of that spaghetti squash. That thing is as big as a football, if not bigger. That is huge, and I still have more, but they're not quite ready yet. But let me show you the surprise. See, all of these are dying back. All of the vines are dying back because of the squash bugs, right? So I do have to get these out. Those are ready, okay? And let me show y'all what I found, because many of you have asked me about Mr. H's butternut squash, right? You've seen all of the spaghetti that we got in here. But y'all, look what I found. There's a butternut right there. Here's another little one down here, right? And there's another one right here. Now this vine is dying because the squash bugs have gotten to it. But look at what I found, even down here. Here's another one. So somehow, 3 of the plants that I put down were indeed butternut squash for Mr. H. So when I showed him that, he was so excited and so happy. So you all, I'm going to finish up with this spaghetti squash, and I'm hoping that Mr. H's butternut squash will make it all the way before the squash bugs take it completely out. Mr. H is excited about his butternut squash, you all. He's very excited, and so am I. Now look at the sunflowers. Look at how they are bowing their heads in submission to the Lord of all creation. Look at that. Isn't it just beautiful? Right? Look at that. There are signs in everything for the wise. If y'all will remember, these are our Mongolian Giants right here. And you can see the bee all the way up there. But y'all, this thing is like 13, 14 feet tall. It's beautiful. Much taller than the Titans. One thing I could say is that the heads so far on the Mongolian Giants are much smaller than that of the Titans. But the Giants are taller than the Titans. And, well, the kitties don't really come with the sunflowers. You have to supply your own kitty if that's what you want to see, okay? But in any case, just look at that Titan head. While the sunflower stalk itself is much shorter, the head is absolutely huge. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's get back to the harvest. I have to say that my plan with the squash is working. Look at these beautiful zucchini. This is the Caucasoul zucchini right here, okay? Kitty, watch the camera. Look at that. And this one is my gray zucchini. This is still by far my favorite zucchini. I don't even bother with growing the Black Beauty zucchini anymore. To me, the flavor of this gray zucchini just surpasses it, and I have no desire to even grow it anymore. And while the Caucasoul is a good zucchini, the flavor doesn't compare still, in my opinion, to the gray zucchini. But this is a great zucchini for canning. To me, it holds up so well, and so I prefer this one for canning, this one for eating fresh. Yeah, so, but anyway, my plan is working because we have pulled out several squash plants, okay, that the squash bugs have just taken completely out. Even the one behind the camera, I'll show it to you. They're getting it, right? And I'll show you others that they have just completely destroyed. But now we have these little ones coming up right here. And even beside me, we have the little ones coming up here. And these are now just getting larger and starting to produce. So whereas last season, when we planted all of our squash around the same time, we lost them all around the same time and didn't get nearly as much squash as I would have hoped for. But doing it this way, succession planting the squash, planting some on time, planting some later, is actually working. So while they're taking out the old stuff, the new stuff is coming in and giving us some delicious squash. So this season, even though the squash bugs do eventually win, that's okay. I'm still getting what I want. So it worked. Our plan to plant some early, plant some like kitty witty in the middle, and plant some a little later. They're taking them out, but I'm still getting my squash. You should have seen what I harvested yesterday. Y'all, if you've never grown lunchbox peppers, they are so good and they are so super sweet. And you don't harvest them until they turn this beautiful orange color. And actually they are so good that I just eat them raw. These are so delicious. Lunchbox peppers. Finally, my Poblano peppers are growing They're getting a nice size. I love poblano peppers. They are great for stuffing, but there's so many other things that you can do with poblano peppers, you all. Oh man, just look at them. They are so beautiful. And I actually have two plants like this. This one is a little slower, but it's coming, finally coming along. Remember, we started our peppers really, really late, so I'm not surprised that it's taken them so long to grow and produce. It takes them a little while, but once that heat kicks in, man, they're looking good. These, you all, are my Big Bertha bell peppers, and actually I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off because I could actually use these peppers right now, and so I'm not gonna wait for them to get any bigger. I'm just gonna go ahead and take these two off now, and I can use those tonight with my dinner. I'm gonna give you two guesses on what's for dinner. These jalapenos are growing so fast. They are growing a lot faster than I can actually keep up with. I just harvested a basket full of jalapenos, and as you can see, they just keep going. Hey, Bumble. Do y'all see Bumble? Bumble, say hi. Oh, he's gone. He didn't have time to talk with us, I guess. He's busy working right now, so Bumble will talk to us later. Bye, Bumble. All right, y'all. So, look at all these peppers. They just keep coming. They're just everywhere. And I've already harvested a lot of them, and I still have more to go. But let me show y'all these. These are my Cubanelles right here, you all, and it's finally beginning to turn colors. You don't harvest these actually until they turn red. Now, you can harvest them at the various stages if you like, but if you wait until they turn the darkest color they can, which is going to be red or that deep dark orange, that's when they get sweeter and sweeter, and they taste so good to me. I love these peppers. So although I am so tempted to take that orange pepper off of there, and I still might, in fact I think I'm gonna. Oh man, that's gonna be so good. But that's okay. I'm gonna leave the other one, and the others that are still green, of course they gotta stay. But y'all, I'm so excited about these peppers. These are some delicious peppers, y'all. And there's nothing wrong with trying a little bit of variety. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all these beautiful banana peppers. They're just all over the plant. Just look at these. Got one in there that looks like it has gone bad. There's another member of the Bumble family. But just look, you all. I don't know why I grew so many of these peppers. I don't even like sweet banana peppers, like talking about it. But you know, sometimes you get caught up when you buying plants at the store and it was a 6-pack. So yeah, I got a 6-pack. Couldn't beat the price. This one is not doing so good. It's kind of stumbled right where it is, but the one right next to it, look at it. Just peppers everywhere. All right, so this is this row of heavy hitter okra. This is heavy hitter okra, and then just behind the heavy hitter okra, I have one of the reds. It's either the red burgundy or the pink Okinawa, but I think it's the red burgundy on this row. But one of the things that Mr. H and I were discussing when I harvested some of these are not, as you can see, the plant is still growing, so it's not quite ready to start like just pumping out tons of okra. It's still growing, so we're getting just a few a day, and to be honest, they don't have a chance to make it to a pot because we eat them raw, and they are good. However, while this heavy hitter okra may be a big producer, it's not the best tasting okra if you're just going to eat it raw. Hey, Tamu. It's not the best tasting if you're eating it raw. To me, it's very dense, and it's a thick-skinned okra as well. It's not, I don't know, it's just, to me, the flavor, eating it raw, is just not there. But I will say, canning it, freezing it, because of the way that this okra tastes, I think the skin to me is a lot thicker, and it's hard for me to explain it, but it's not like the okra that I'm used to eating. Even if you've had the Clemson spineless, even the Clemson spineless to me tastes better than the heavy hitter okra, but I think this would hold up really good if you're canning it to pickle it, or if you're canning it to make an okra and tomato stew, or if you're doing it to make frying okra, because I did a frying okra that I watched. Deep South Homestead showed how they do their frying okra, and I did one similar, okay? I did one similar, and I think this would be great for that, because I think it'll hold up really well when you're canning it, okay? I think it'll hold up really, really well. So for that, I can go with the heavy hitter okra, but just for eating it raw, this is probably my least favorite of any okra I've ever eaten. It don't taste nasty, but it just don't taste good. Like great, like, I don't know. I purchased our seeds from Baker Creek, and one of our subscribers, thank you so much, sent us some, because the ones that I planted, because of the weather, I lost them all and I was out of seed. And so I replanted the ones that one of our subscribers was so kind to send us. I planted it, but you all, I gotta admit, I don't know. I'll give it a second chance. I'll give it a second chance and see, okay? I don't know. We'll test it out and we'll see, y'all. We'll test it out and we'll see. I'll harvest one when it's really small and see if that'll make a difference in the flavor. But so far, I'm not a big fan. Would I grow it again? Yes, I would grow it again, and I think it would make the best variety for canning a frying okra or doing okra pickles. I think this variety would be fantastic for that. But if you like to eat your okra fresh and just, nah. All right, y'all, so as you can see, look at the squash. One of them has already been taken completely down by the squash bugs. Why didn't I take it out? Because I don't want the squash bugs to move from this spot to my squash plants that are on the other end, because those are the newer ones down there, and these are from here all the way down are the older ones. So I'm leaving them as traps. I'm tricking them into thinking they have a forever home, right? Just to give my other squash an opportunity to start really pumping out some squash and producing. Now, this right here, even though it's just about gone, hi, Chitty Weedy. Even though this one is just about gone, it's still trying to pump out that Cockazoe zucchini on the ends here. It's still trying to pump it out, and I'm gonna let it do its thing, okay? But you all, woo, let's go on down here. I gotta get some more squash. Look at this, y'all. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. And you wanna know something weird? Tamu, no! Y'all, Tamu is like a freight train. That's the last thing you want running through your garden, is a moo bear. Harvesting these tomatoes, having them planted over here, honestly, this is all patty pan squash, by the way, and it's growing beautifully. I harvested a beautiful patty pan yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. Look at these tomatoes. I have no idea what variety they are. I honestly don't know. This entire row is actually supposed to be my paste tomatoes that I thought I planted. But this is not a paste tomato. I don't know what this is. It almost looked like that tomato, that Russian vernissage or vernissage or however you pronounce it. That's what it almost looks like to me, but I'm not sure. But if it is, I don't even remember starting them from seed, so who knows. Okay, now that I've tasted that tomato, I know exactly what that is. I just don't remember planting it over here. This, you all, that's a black cherry. When I tasted it, and that flavor went boom, I knew immediately what this flavor was. There is not a cherry tomato that tastes anything like this. I knew what it was immediately. I cannot express to you my joy. Look at my itty bitty squash. New plants, new squash. Yeah! But anyway, as I move through, all of the paste tomatoes look so good. Just look. This is just loaded with paste tomatoes. Just look at that, y'all. All the way up the plant. Now, all the way down, these are all paste. These are orange icicles, and these are my Amish paste. So these are the only two varieties of paste tomatoes that I am growing this season. And I just didn't want to have to deal with a bunch of different varieties of paste tomatoes, okay? Now, as you can see over here, these tomatoes are coming along so well. Just look at this. This one has already started blushing. And because we do have a big problem with birds, I will normally come out and take these when they are blushing like that. And I can let them continue to ripen on the counter. But I'm going to leave that one for now. But look, y'all. All these tomatoes. Just look at that. Just picture perfect. Just beautiful. I am going to go ahead and harvest these tomatoes here, because these are ready. And I'm going to go ahead and get them now, because I don't want any birds to come out like they have already done and start taking a bite out of my tomatoes. And let me show you this. We've had a lot of rain. So look at how the tomatoes have started to split. Now this right here, it didn't split. This was either done by a bird or a worm. But this is a split because of how much rain we've gotten. And it's going to rain again today. But you know what? I'm going to cut this out. Yeah. And this tomato is going to be delicious. This tomato, this German Johnson tomato, has quickly become our new favorite slicing tomato, you all. It has quickly become our favorite. It is such a meaty tomato, and it is packed with flavor. I made a salad with sliced tomatoes, cucumbers, fresh onion, a little bit of basil, garlic, and olive oil. A drizzle of olive oil. This salad was absolutely delicious. I'm going to show y'all, when you are growing a garden, y'all, the simplest meals are the most fulfilling meals. They are so good. And man, the flavor is just undeniably the best ever. And I'm going to show y'all how I put together these simple meals that Mr. H and I absolutely enjoy. I got a few more tomatoes to get, and that's going to be all of my harvest today. This is that German Queen tomato, okay? And it does have a little bit of damage to it. Yes, it does. But while the German Queen is a nice tomato, I'm gonna be honest with you. The flavor profile of the German Johnson versus the German Queen, to me this one is so much better. But we're gonna give it one more shot and we're gonna see if, I don't know, if the German Queen can compare. But so far, the German Johnson slicer is the best. Mr. H still likes his Cherokee Purple. All right? And I do too. Good tomato. But I think I found a new favorite in the German Johnson. From the looks of all of this, we're going to be picking green beans probably in the next week or so, because these 2 rows are loaded with little bean pods. So I can see I'm about to get super busy between beans and tomatoes. Oh yeah. Remember we talked about the other variety of okra that I have planted here. Right here in the front here, the first few plants, this is all that Jambalaya Okra. And y'all, I'm telling you, I know this is a hybrid. I know that it's not heirloom. I cannot save the seeds from this, okay? But I will just have to buy enough seeds, because this is still by far, hands down, the most delicious okra variety so far I've ever tasted. If you have an idea of an heirloom variety that tastes really good, not the Clemson spineless, not the heavy hitter, but an heirloom variety that tastes extremely good, I've never tried it before, please post it in the comment section below. I would love to know what variety it is that you think I would really, really love if I'm going to replace this Jambalaya Okra. So far, I don't know. This stuff is good. I mean, literally just eat it raw. You will never get tired of eating it. It's so good. And on the back side here, on the very end, I think it's that pink Okinawa, if I'm not mistaken. I have never tried it, but I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to do it for my little harvest for this morning. I do have a lot of ground cherries that I can go over and get, but it's hot out here and it's getting humid, so I think I'm going to save those for tomorrow. But I'm going to get in and get started on my pickles. All right, that is going to do it for today's harvest, you all. I got some tomatoes. I got, oh, that black cherry, y'all. I'm so thrilled that that's what that was. So I got some zucchini. I have some, I'm gonna give you one guess what's for dinner tonight. Just one. I got my spaghetti squash. I'm super excited about that. I harvested a few okra and some sweet peppers. So that is gonna be awesome for dinner on tonight, you all. I got cucumbers that I still need to harvest, but it's so humid out here. I'm gonna get from out here. Really am. It is extremely humid this morning. Ahead of that storm that's coming, I guess that was to be expected, right? I got my basket of eggs right here. The girls are doing a great job laying eggs. I mean, they do good. All year long, we've never had a problem with them slowing down on their, well, they've slowed down, but they didn't stop. So we've been constantly getting fresh eggs throughout the winter months even, you know, so that is exciting. Loofah Lane is coming along. Loofah Lane is looking good. We're going to do a separate video on Loofah Lane because it's really growing and taking off. So I'm happy about that. But that's it for today's harvest, you all. I just thought I'd share that harvest with you, and hopefully you are harvesting your own crops, growing your groceries as well. That is the movement, right? That is the movement. Grow your groceries, okay? So that is going to do it for today. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the bees in another video as well. I didn't talk about them earlier. Number one, time just kind of got away from me. And number two, it was a good thing for me to wait to talk about them out of frustration because I didn't want that to come through the camera. But yes, I was extremely frustrated. But I'm going to talk to you all about that now that I'm much calmer. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today. If you haven't done so already, please give our video a thumbs up, all right? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button because that really helps people, helps the algorithms and whatnot with YouTube to share our videos with others so that everyone can see what we're all enjoying, which is growing our own food, all right? All right, y'all, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we upload to our channel. Thank you all so much again for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Happy gardening, y'all, and grow your groceries.